The audacity of building your own, how Black women are rewriting America's economic rules. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era. I'm your host, and today I'm sharing insights from my recent interview with Margaret Edwards, a visionary whose work has fundamentally transformed how we understand power, opportunity, and resistance in America. Margaret isn't just researching inequity, she's dismantling it. Through her groundbreaking advocacy, she's created pathways for thousands of Black women entrepreneurs, advised Fortune 500 companies on authentic inclusion, and helped draft legislation that's reshaping economic opportunity across the nation. Her brilliance lies not just in identifying problems, but in illuminating solutions that challenge the very foundations of how we think about success in America. Have you ever wondered why the most educated demographic in America still struggles to advance professionally? Or why political representation hasn't translated to economic power? These questions led me to a conversation with Margaret that revealed a profound truth about America in 2025. We are systematically squandering the talents of our most educated demographic, Black women. The data paints a startling picture. Despite leading all demographics in college and graduate education enrollment, Black women face a shocking reality in 2025. The gender pay gap remains frozen at 83 cents to the dollar, the same as last year, having moved just 4 pennies since 2003. 4 cents of progress in over 2 decades. Let that sink in. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. While we're witnessing record numbers of Black women in state legislatures, 399 seats in 2025, up from 386 just last year, we're simultaneously seeing severe underrepresentation in corporate leadership, with only 5% of C level positions held by women of color. This disconnect reveals something profound about power in America. Political representation is increasing while economic barriers persist. It's as if we've created a system where Black women can help make the rules but aren't allowed to fully participate in the game. The conventional wisdom suggests education is the great equalizer. Work hard, get your degree, and doors will open. But Margaret's research challenges this assumption. For Black women, education hasn't been the skeleton key to opportunity it was promised to be. This realization forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. What if our systems aren't broken at all? What if they're functioning exactly as designed to limit access to economic power regardless of qualification or capability? Let's look deeper at what's happening in state legislatures. As of April 2025, 399 Black women hold state legislative seats across America: 390 Democrats, 7 Republicans, 1 nonpartisan, and 1 independent. This represents a new record, surpassing the previous high set just last year. This achievement builds on decades of grassroots organizing by Black women who have long been the backbone of electoral politics while rarely receiving the opportunity to lead. Black women now hold 5.4% of the nation's state legislative seats, significant progress, though still below their 7.8% share of the US population. The impact of this representation is tangible. We're seeing more legislation addressing issues that disproportionately affect communities of color, including economic equity, healthcare access, and criminal justice reform. Black women legislators are changing the conversation, bringing perspectives previously absent from policy discussions. Yet when we turn to corporate America, the picture changes dramatically. Despite educational achievements, Black women remain severely underrepresented in leadership positions. As of 2025, only 25% of C level leaders are women, with a mere 5% representing racial minority females. This represents minimal improvement from previous years. Margaret shares stories of Black women who report feeling like they're hustling backwards in corporate environments, working harder than their counterparts for less recognition and compensation. They face a double bind of both racial and gender bias, along with lack of mentorship, limited access to influential networks, and persistent pay inequities. Some companies have implemented targeted sponsorship programs, unconscious bias training, and transparent promotion criteria to address these disparities. But the numbers tell us these efforts are falling short. The persistent underrepresentation has economic consequences beyond individual careers. It affects innovation, company performance, and the broader economy through missed opportunities for diverse leadership perspectives. When we exclude the insights and talents of our most educated demographic, we all lose. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. In the face of these barriers, Black women aren't waiting for permission or acceptance. They're creating their own opportunities through entrepreneurship at unprecedented rates. Between 2017 and 2024, the number of Black women owned businesses increased by over 40%, outpacing the growth rates of every other demographic group. As of 2024, Black women own nearly 2.7 million businesses in the United States, according to the US Census Bureau. This entrepreneurial surge represents not just economic activity, but a form of resistance against systems that have historically excluded Black women from economic opportunity. It's a declaration of independence, a refusal to be defined by barriers created by others. Black women entrepreneurs face significant challenges, particularly in accessing capital. Studies show they receive less than 1% of venture capital funding, despite being one of the fastest growing entrepreneurial demographics. In response, they've developed alternative funding networks, community based capital sources, and innovative business models that require less initial investment. These businesses are creating jobs, building wealth in communities of color, and reshaping industries by introducing products and services that meet previously ignored market needs. They're not just participating in the economy, they're transforming it. As Margaret eloquently put it during our interview, when Black women build businesses, they're not just creating economic opportunities, they're creating liberation technologies that challenge the very systems designed to exclude them. This entrepreneurial revolution offers a powerful lesson about resistance and resilience. When faced with systems that don't accommodate your gifts, sometimes the most revolutionary act is to create your own system. The poet Audre Lorde once wrote, "The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house." Black women entrepreneurs aren't trying to renovate a house built to exclude them. They're building entirely new structures based on different blueprints. This brings us to a profound question that emerged from my conversation with Margaret. What would our economy look like if we removed the artificial barriers holding back the most educated demographic in America? The data shows Black women are already creating unprecedented entrepreneurial growth despite receiving minimal support and investment. Imagine what could be possible if we address the systemic issues in pay equity, corporate advancement, and capital access. We're not just talking about fairness or equity, though these are certainly important. We're talking about unleashing untapped economic potential that could transform our entire society. So, where do we go from here? The revolution has already begun, but its success depends on all of us. For those with power in hiring, promotion, or investment decisions, your silence is complicity. Your inaction maintains inequity. The question isn't whether you believe in equality, it's whether you're willing to disrupt the systems that prevent it. Will you examine your practices, challenge your biases, and actively create pathways for Black women to advance? Or will you continue benefiting from a system that artificially limits human potential? For allies, proximity to power means nothing if you don't use it. Advocate for transparent pay practices. Amplify Black women's voices in meetings. Direct capital toward Black women entrepreneurs. Your comfort with the status quo is a luxury Black women cannot afford. And for Black women, your worth was never determined by systems designed without you in mind. Your brilliance doesn't require external validation to exist. The world has always told you to wait your turn, to be patient, to accept incremental change. But as Margaret reminded me, sometimes building your own table isn't just an alternative path, it's a revolutionary act. The most radical thing you can do in a system designed to exclude you is to thrive anyway, to create anyway, to build anyway, not just as an act of defiance, but as an act of imagination, showing us all what's possible when human potential is unleashed rather than constrained. I believe we stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question before us isn't whether Black women will continue to rise, they already are, despite every barrier. The question is whether the rest of us will recognize that their freedom is inextricably linked to our own when we limit the potential of our most educated demographic. We limit our collective future. When we remove those barriers, we don't just create opportunity for Black women, we expand what's possible for all of us. The revolution won't be polite, it won't maintain your comfort, it will challenge fundamental assumptions about merit, opportunity, and power. But on the other side lies a world where human potential isn't determined by race or gender, a world where we all benefit from the full expression of each other's gifts. The choice is yours. Will you defend the systems that maintain artificial limitations, or will you join the revolution that's already underway? Your answer will determine not just the America we create today, but the possibilities we leave for generations to come. Thank you